I hope that these videos that I'm putting out don't come from a place of superiority where it's like, I'm just preaching the holy gospel of teaching orchestra to you guys, so get up to my level. That's not what I'm trying to accomplish here at all. I've definitely had struggles in my career, and I want to tell a little story about a transformation that I went through and an experience that I had at a UIL concert and sight reading contest. So we're getting our program ready to go. We had our 3 pieces picked out, and I just happened to have started a new job, and I was at a new school and trying to establish myself, and by golly, I really wanted to bring back some trophies to show my principal and show him that I was actually capable of teaching orchestra at this school, because hey, that's pretty good, right? Not to say that it's all about winning trophies and doing well at contests. That's not the Holy Grail of music. I don't want to imply that at all, but it helps. And I think for a lot of us, having those standards helps implement standards in our classroom and getting our orchestras to higher levels. So anyway, we went through the music rehearsal process and we're working on these pieces and it's going okay. And we have our pre-UIL contest and it definitely sounded like a 2. So we keep rehearsing for a couple more weeks and I'm just trying to fix things and get them better and better so we can get from that 2nd division rating up to that 1st division superior rating. But there's a big gap between a 2, which is an excellent rating, and a 1, which is a superior rating. And I gave it all I could to try to get up there. So I'm sitting in there in the warm-up room, right? And we're tuning, making sure all of our open strings are in tune or whatever. And it's like, okay, let's run this section. Let's work on this transition so that it goes well on stage. And we start playing through it. And I think, oh my gosh, we're not playing in tune at all. You know, and I don't know if any of you have ever been in this situation, but like you're in the warm-up room and you just know like, well, I didn't do enough this year to prepare this group. Like, this is not going to happen. So, you know, if I can get an excellent rating, excellent is still, it's good. It's better than average. It's better than poor. You know, I mean, it's still something. So let's go for that. So I'm no fortune teller or anything, but I just knew that it wasn't going to pull together on stage suddenly and just have this miracle performance. You know, we were definitely not playing at a superior level, and a lot of that was because of our intonation. So in the warm-up room, I start thinking like, well, how much of this can I fix right now? And it's like, let's go back to the simplest elements. Okay, let's just work on a finger pattern and see if we can get a finger pattern to be in tune. So going from like August all the way until like February or March, whenever that UIL contest was, for some of you it's even later, we're suddenly trying to work on the fundamentals of tuning in the warm-up room at contests. And I just had this epiphany. I was like, well, why haven't we been doing this stuff all year? You know, why are we waiting until contest? It's like, oh, time to start working on tuning, guys. I guess we better learn how to play in tune now. And it's really from this that I started to develop these techniques so that we could start doing things in August and then keep them going all year and hopefully do better at contest. I mean, y'all are welcome to go on UIL forums and look at my contest scores, and they're not always perfect, but I do my best and I try to use the techniques to get my orchestra to play at a higher level. And one of the techniques that I do is try to create understanding of where a student is in the tuning levels of awareness. So we have level 1. Level 1 is unawareness. The students are not aware of tuning whatsoever. They don't know if they're playing in tune or not. And according to the UIL rubric, guys, this is level 5 tuning. You can't have an ensemble that is completely unaware of tuning have any sort of consistency when it comes to tuning. And looking at the rubric, you're never going to slide into any category besides a 5. You can't even get up to a 4 if you're at level 1 tuning. Now, the whole UIL rubric isn't just based on intonation, but intonation appears in different categories, and intonation does affect other things, like dynamics, for instance. And there's another video on that if you want to go look at the reason why poor tuning affects dynamics. But yeah, tuning's a big piece of it for sure. So the goal at first is to get from level 1 tuning to level 2 tuning. And to do that, we have to create awareness. We have to become aware that we're out of tune and be able to make adjustments to get us into something that is more in tune. Once we're able to do that consistently, then we start to reach level 2 awareness of tuning. Now, level 2 awareness of tuning will create some adjustments. It will create some consistency in tuning. But again, according to the UIL rubric, when it comes to tuning, we're still at about a 3. When it comes to that particular category, not all categories, but for the tuning categories, we're still stuck at a 3. And in order to begin the note and tune, we have to move down to the 3rd level of tuning awareness. And this is when we're having a proactive approach to tuning, where we understand our tendencies and we understand what the pitch is supposed to sound like, and we correct mistakes before we even make them in the first place. According to the UIL rubric, this is superior tuning, and this is what's going to get us that first division score for those rubric categories. So I created this infographic just to help out, and I post this in my classroom. You can post it in your classroom too. In fact, once we get our website developed, I'm going to have a section there where we're going to create posters for your classrooms, and we'll send them to you, that has our values hierarchy and has our level of tuning awareness, and you can get those laminated and posted in your classroom so that you can have some decorations on your walls, maybe if you want to, maybe not, help support our channel. And if you're not interested in that, that's fine too. You can put other stuff on the walls that suits your classroom better. But I like to have these infographics just to kind of show my students visually where we are and where we're going. Now, can your students hear the pitches before they play them? Because that's very important. It's very important to visualize and know what you're gonna do before you actually do it. And the first person I know of to talk about this is Elizabeth Green. Elizabeth Green taught at the University of Michigan. She was a phenom in string education. She has excellent books on orchestral bowing, lots of other areas, and she was also a phenomenal orchestra director in Waterloo, Iowa. I don't think Elizabeth Green gets enough credit for the work that she did. I mean, you go to Wikipedia, there's a lot of Elizabeth Green pages, but I don't see an Elizabeth Green page for the Elizabeth Green conductor / music educator Elizabeth Green. Actually, I could find a page about Elizabeth Green, but it's in German. So why is Elizabeth Green on the German Wikipedia page? I can't find her on the English one. That makes no sense, because Elizabeth Green is definitely from Iowa and she was English speaking. No offense to Germans. German is a great language and I love your country and you're great people. I'm just saying that I find it interesting that there's a Wikipedia page for Elizabeth Green in German, but not one in English. So having that process of audiation, or being able to hear the pitch before you play it, is important for understanding your tendencies. So if you've been teaching orchestra long enough, you're already going to know these tendencies, because they're the common mistakes that students often make. Like in the major pattern, or some people call it the 2-3 pattern, whatever, we know on the D string, those F sharps are going to be a little bit low. We also know that whenever we shift up, those shifts are going to be a little bit low, and when we shift down, those shifts are going to be a little bit high. So you know the tendencies, but do the students know the tendencies? And that's where the level 3 tuning awareness comes in, is being able to get them to know what they need to do. And as soon as you can get level 3 awareness and they're proactively making adjustments, you've now got a superior division orchestra when it comes to tuning. In that tuning category, it's going to create a ripple of success into all of your other categories too. Your style is going to be better, your dynamics are going to be more pronounced, you're going to be able to say and express more with your phrasing when your sound is in tune. So try to get all of your students up to that level 3 tuning.